The Miracle Club. This is currently available on iTunes on VOD. I did rent this. I rented it for Thanksgiving for the people that I was spending Thanksgiving with, and took one for the team because there's no audio description on this. However, I did look at what iTunes listed as the studio, and I was like, I've never heard of them before. I don't know who these people are. We need to tell them about audio description. When you've heard of, there are some distributors that I know are small, and I hear of them, and I'm like, oh, okay, so it's Magnolia, or oh, it's Bleecker Street, or something like that, and I know it's one of the nice little minis that's trying to get an independent film out there. This one, I don't know who you are. I don't know where you came from, but I don't know why this couldn't be released by a larger studio. This film stars Laura Linney, Kathy Bates, Maggie Smith, and sort of Brenda Fricker. I mean, she's in this, but for like a hot second. There's a lot of Oscar nominations being thrown around, basically. And yeah, this film was with, I don't know, Straz or something like that. Straz Distribution, or I don't know. It was some weird distribution company that it went to theaters. So you would think, but you know, when you're, I don't know, operating out of the back of a van, I guess that's what you get. So, this is a quaint film. It's a quaint film. Takes place in a small village. Well, it takes place in two different places, but starts in a small village in Ireland where someone has died and has passed, and the town has felt a loss, but they feel it in a way that a small hamlet in Ireland might feel such a loss, with, you know, going ahead with their local sort of talent show thing, that because the woman who died was sort of on the committee for making this thing happen. There's an event that happens every year where they can get this ticket to go on this pilgrimage to this French village where supposedly some healing can occur. And so some people are really hoping to be able to go there for various reasons. And playing members of the town are Maggie Smith, who's just doing a Maggie Smith accent here for the most part. It's Maggie Smith with like a hint of Irish, but mostly Maggie Smith. She's 88, so she can do whatever the hell she wants because she's Maggie Smith. Dame Maggie Smith. Sorry, I shouldn't slight her. Dame Maggie Smith. And we've also got Kathy Bates playing, oddly, in the middle of generations, because she's 75, so she's actually, 13 years younger than Maggie Smith, which is significant, but still played like she could be one of Maggie Smith's friends. But she's also considerably older than Laura Linney, who comes to town, who's the daughter of the woman who died. Laura is 59. So these three women are significantly disparate ages, just across, but yet somehow all within 20 years of each other, but like perfectly, so that none of them would have ever actually truly interacted with each other in the same space in a close friendship way. But yet they're the three that sort of become the focus of the film and moving the story forward. So Linney comes to town, and there's a lot of drama. She doesn't even have a hint of an accent. She hasn't been back in 40 years, so apparently it takes 40 years to drop your Irish accent. There was a thing where she loved a boy, and she was pregnant, and they were going to get married and be happy, but, Maggie Smith had to go and ruin that. And so and her mom and everything, so she just like left and just pieced out. She was like, fuck you all, I'm moving to America, I'm gonna get an American accent. And she came back for the funeral, and she was just sort of wondering, as you would if you hadn't been someplace in 40 years, like, what's up? What's changed? Unfortunately for small towns, not much changes sometimes. That's to say people are still there. So, she just kind of steps right back in it, but she finds out that her mom had a ticket, and her mom's like dying wish was for her to take the ticket and go on this trip. So she ends up going on the trip with Kathy Bates, Maggie Smith, and some other people to this place where they're trying to find miracles. In case you didn't understand that title, they all could use a miracle. So that is the story of the Miracle Club. It's not the most exciting film. In terms of audio description, I would have loved to actually, first of all, I guess like if I was from Ireland, if I was from that area and I didn't necessarily need that area described to me because there's nothing really fancy about it, then I would be less inclined to be excited about the possibility of learning about, and having the area described. But for us in other countries, it's always nice. I mean, there's a reason why people constantly keep flying over to Europe and walking around and staring at just places where regular people live. We think it's fun. They're not even tourist attractions. We're just like, oh, look at this small Irish village. It's so quaint. It's like people just live here. Just like if you just walked, be like if people from England just like flew to some random town in Nebraska and just started walking around and like, wow, this is real America. Look at this. And people are like, what are you doing here? Like, we're just farming. What are you? So, but we do that. We just go and we walk around just regular places where people live, not even tourist areas. Anyway, so yeah, it's pretty and we like it, and I don't get any of that with this audio description. I don't get any of the village that they go to get the miracles, the club, none of that. But honestly, this movie doesn't not really much exciting happens. It's mostly in the dialogue. This is one of those questionable ones. Do I want to give it a grade, or do I want to tank it and say you couldn't follow this without audio description? That would be a lie. I'm just gonna be totally honest to you. Should this film have audio description? Yeah, it should. Absolutely. Because there are rich details that are within the context of the film, but there was never a moment in the film where I was like, I don't understand what's going on. The film is just either too slow or too obvious, or everything is revealed in dialogue. Just not that bright of a film. It just wasn't a difficult film to get through, and it was more trying to, motivate myself to stay awake and get through the Miracle Club than anything else. Four amazingly talented ladies, all just kind of, I don't know why they're in this. Can we please get them better work? Can they at least have like a Netflix series? Something? I mean, I know for Dame Maggie Smith, it was probably just she didn't want to travel, and she probably wanted to do the least amount of work humanly possible at 88 years old. So this film probably seemed like a great catch for her. But the other two, seriously, I mean, Kathy Bates was in Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, and was fantastic earlier this year and had a lot of fire left in her, sir. So I would love to see more of that. This film is just kind of it's whatever. It's nothing. It just didn't really offer anything, but didn't really take away anything either. Like, I don't think it's a bad film. I just think it just kind of exists out there in the ether. AARP crowds might eat it up, but honestly, I think there have been better iterations of this sort of thing before. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and grade it. Yes, it should have audio description. And I have given unwatchable to almost every single title this year that has not had audio description. But again, I would be lying if I said that I was lost at any point during this film due to lack of audio description. Do I feel like that there are certainly aspects of this film that could have been communicated to me? Yes. Do I think any of those would change how I feel about the film? No. Do I think just simply you describing to me what the set looks like and the production design and everything is going to be like, wow, so it looks really cool. Awesome. No, it's not. It's really not. Not for this film. It's just such a it's just a slow, predictable film. So I'm gonna give The Miracle Club a C. It is whatever you want it to be. But this is one of, so I'm not constantly that guy. I don't constantly just every single film without audio description am I here to bash people over the head and say, oh my God, this is unwatchable. This one technically is watchable. I think everyone will understand every aspect of the film. Are you missing stuff? Sure. Absolutely. We know that. But when I use the term unwatchable, it means that there's literally an aspect of the film that you cannot understand or follow without audio description, and I would be lying if I said that there was an aspect of this film that you cannot understand or follow without audio description. So, yes, it gets a grade. This one is the one film this year it gets a grade. This thing. So, enjoy The Miracle Club. Anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and maybe I'm feeling festive for Thanksgiving, I don't know. Anyway, you can go to our website, macthemovieguy.com. You can go to X, Threads, or Instagram at macthemovieguy. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org, where you can find things that do have audio description and where you can watch them. And you can go to the ADNA.org, that's the ADNA.org. It'll let you know who's narrating your favorite films and television series. That's it. I'll watch something else and see you guys on the other side.